Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are bringing you another great game of CEDH. This was a long game, but it was a blast to play with a member of our Discord. Also, if you're interested in playing with us, hop on our Discord. We have an ever-growing community and we'll love to talk MTG or whatever strikes your fancy. And another benefit is we often let people know when we play and would love to meet some new people. Alright, block there, kill that. Oh, that is trample. Guess I'm just dead on board. First up, we have Simon, joining us again from Discord. He has brought God Eternal Kefnet. This is mono blue taking turns, and is a control style list that aims to use Kefnet's ability to copy spells from the top of his library and infinitely cast an extra turn spell by putting it on top with the scroll rack type effect. Along with the fact that Kefnet is actually just a 4/5 flyer and is very hard to remove. Next up, we have Jimmy piloting Vega the Watcher. This is blue-white control at its core. The key to this list is Isochron Scepter. This artifact can not only combo for infinite mana with Dramatic Reversal, but can also just grind insane value. As with Vega, every time he casts something with it, he gets to draw. In the third spot, we have Fernando, who is on Meren. This Golgari Reanimator deck uses Meren's powerful reanimation ability to play out of the graveyard and accrue lots of value. This is a Sack Hulk deck that aims to reanimate and sacrifice Protean Hulk as quickly as possible and combo out early. And bringing up the rear, we have Hidden Planet X and another new deck to the channel. Always trying out new lists, Hidden has brought Zaxara, the Exemplary. This is a bug combo deck that aims to gain infinite mana with a few different auras that let you untap Zaxara. In addition to playing thrasios as a win con, it also gains a few hidden benefits with cards like Blue Sun Zenith or Brain Geyser, and is definitely a fun and powerful commander. But without further ado, let's get on to the gameplay. Please note, this game was recorded a little while ago, and as such, people are still playing Hull Breacher. Simon starts off with an island, and casts a Mox Diamond, discarding another island, and he casts a turn 1 Mystic Remora. Jimmy plays and cracks a Misty Rainforest, and goes and finds a Tundra. He casts a Soul Ring and gives a card to Simon. Fernando has a quick turn, just playing a Wooded Foothills and passing. Hidden doesn't have much action either, as he just cracks a Scalding Tarn to grab an Underground Sea. Simon starts off by paying for his fish. He then plays another island and holds up mana. Jimmy plays a Sea of Clouds and casts a Tribute Mage. Fernando cracks his fetch in response, and he grabs a tapped Overgrown Tomb. The mage resolves with Jimmy finding an Isochron Scepter. Fernando has a command tower as land, but doesn't want to feed the fish and passes. Hidden starts with a Bayou and taps out to cast a Destiny Spinner. Simon decides the fish is still worth it as he pays 2, but it leaves him short on mana and he just passes. Jimmy plays a Marsh Flats and casts his commander Vega. He then heads to combat and his mage heads at Fernando for 2. The game really starts moving when Fernando plays a Swamp and passes.
Nobody wants to feed my pretty fish.
No.
Hidden at a Bloodstained Mire and heads to combat. Fernando is hit again by the spinner and Hidden is done after that. Simon finally relinquishes the fish, not paying for the upkeep cost. He then casts a High Tide, and with his islands tapping for double, he then tries a different taxation method as he casts a Rhystic Study. Jimmy plays a Buried Ruin and then heads to combat. This time Hidden's the target and he takes 4. On his second main, Jimmy casts a fish of his own and pays for Rhystic. Not wanting to be reminded of his own failed fish, Simon responds with a mental misstep, and the fish is no more. Jimmy then follows it up with a Merchant Scroll, paying the 1, and finds a Fierce Guardianship. At his end step, Hidden cracks his fetch and grabs a tapped Watery Grave. Fernando on his turn plays a Forest, and then casts a Green Sun Zenith, where X equals 2. He pays for the Rhystic, and Jimmy cracks his fetch for a Hollowed Fountain, before Fernando finds a Collector Oof. Hidden plays a Forest, and taps out to cast his commander Zaxara. He unfortunately does give a card to Simon, but is done after that. Simon is not happy about the Oof, as he misses another land drop, and casts a Mana Vault. Jimmy plays an island, and heads to combat. Vega goes at Simon, while the mage heads at Fernando.
I'm a combat control deck.
Apparently.
On his second main, Jimmy also has a Rhystic Study, to the chagrin of the table. He pays the tax and it resolves. Fernando has another Forest and casts a Mind Slicer. He ends up only paying for Jimmy's Rhystic Study, and the Slicer resolves. Fernando then heads to combat and swings the oof back at Jimmy before passing to Hidden. Now with the threat of discarding his hand, Hidden decides to go for it. He casts a Penman's Aura. He follows Fernando's tactics of only paying for Jimmy's Rhystic. Jimmy does try to Fierce Guardianship it, although he quickly realizes that it's uncounterable due to the Destiny Spinner, so instead he casts a Silence. He does pay for the Rhystic, and the Silence resolves along with the Aura. Unfortunately, Hidden now has infinite mana, but no ability to cast anything, so he also passes. Simon finds an island, but is still starved due to the oof. He casts an Into the Royal to bounce the oof. With the Rhystic trigger on the stack, Hidden produces infinite mana, and casts a Hold Reacher. The oof is bounced, and Simon uses the last of his mana to cast his commander, Kefnet. Hidden also before moving phases sacrifices a forest to crop rotation, and grabs a waterlogged grove. Jimmy starts off his turn with a Snapcaster Mage. He flashes back a Merchant Scroll, and goes and grabs a Depart the Realm to try and deal with Hidden's infinite mana. Jimmy then plays an island and casts an Isochron Scepter. He imprints the Depart the Realm and heads to combat. Hidden then takes 2 off Vega, and Jimmy is done after that. Fernando has the Finale of Devastation where X equals 1. Hidden responds by creating infinite mana and giving his commander Shroud, and then casting a Chain of Vapor to bounce Fernando's Mind Slicer, with Jimmy responding with a Fierce Guardianship to stop the chain. The finale resolves and Fernando searches out a Viscera Seer. Fernando then heads to combat and swings the Slicer at Hidden for 4, before recasting his Collector Roof on his second main. Responding to this, Jimmy activates his Isochron to bounce the Penman's Aura back to Hidden's hand. This does trigger Vega, and because it's a must trigger, Hidden instead gains a treasure from his Hull Breacher. The stack resolves with Fernando then sacrificing his Mind Slicer to the Seer to scry 1, and force everyone to discard their hands. Everyone does, and at his end step, Hidden cracks the Grove to draw a card. Hidden draws and pays 2 life for a Git Probe.
Oh, who are you picking?
Definitely Fernando.
Look at his hand. Look at his hand, here.
Let me write that down.
Write it down.
He draws, but doesn't have much else, and passes. Simon takes 1 off the vault, and plays an island. He heads to combat and swings Kefnet at Hidden. Jimmy heads straight to combat and swings Vega at Fernando, but decides to leave his other creatures as blockers. Fernando on his turn casts his commander Meren, before heading to attack. He swings his board at Simon for 3, before sacrificing the Viscera Seer to itself to scry 1 to the bottom. He gains an experience counter and moves to his end step, with the Seer being brought back to the battlefield. Hidden doesn't have much of a turn as he draws and passes. Simon takes another one from the mana vault.
30 more turns, guys, and I'll be out of here.
Yay.
He then heads to combat and sends Kefnet at Fernando this time. Jimmy finds a polluted delta off the top and cracks it to find an island. He finishes his turn hitting Fernando with Vega. Fernando heads to combat and swings 3 at Simon, and on his second main he casts a reduced costed Okame Adversary. He then sacrifices the Viscera Seer to itself and scries the card to the top, before bringing the Seer back with Meren at end step. Draw, deal sad, pass the turn. Simon draws for turn and reveals a Temporal Manipulation. He casts the copy for 3 mana and then heads to combat and hits Fernando again, before moving to his extra turn. Simon draws, but laments the fact he can't tap his artifacts for mana, as he casts a Soul Ring. He hits Fernando again with Kefnet. Jimmy finds something good as he casts a Gilded Drake, trying to take control of Hidden's Hull Breacher. And while it does resolve, Hidden responds with an Abrupt Decay on the Drake to prevent the switch. Jimmy then gets revenge by sending Vega at Hidden for 2.
What a chill game. Who said combat damage doesn't matter
I
in CMDR?
Can't do anything.
This is literally turned into that, the pillow fight you have with your friends. It's like,
Fernando starts off with combat. He swings his board at Simon for 8, and on his second main, he casts a Manglehorn to destroy the Isochron Scepter. He then follows it up by sacrificing his adversary to the Viscera Seer, and scries the card to the bottom. He then sacrifices the Manglehorn as well and bottoms that card. He now has 4 experience counters and heads to his end step to bring back the Mind Slicer. After Hidden has drawn his card for turn, Fernando decides to sacrifice the Mind Slicer to force everyone to discard again. Hidden has a response as he casts a Tainted Pact, but Jimmy doesn't like that as he hard casts a Force of Will to counter the spell. But seeing as he's going to lose his hand anyway, Hidden counters back with a Fierce Guardianship to put an end to the force, and let him resolve his Tainted Pact. He starts exiling cards till he stops at an opposition agent. He decides this is good enough and casts the agent. Still responding, he then pays 2 life for a Noxious Revival, and goes greedy as he puts a Yawgmoth's Will on top of his library and prays. Everyone then discards their hand, and Hidden decides to swing 5 at Fernando. Simon on his turn casts a Mox Opal, and swings Kefnet at Fernando for 4.
Ooh. That's a bad card.
I like how it went, ooh, that's a bad card. What?
Jimmy then heads the combat and swings 6 at Fernando to drop him down to 2.
Magic, just how Garfunkel imagined it. Casting nothing and hitting people with creatures.
Yeah, but this is kinda spicy though, like this is...
Jimmy decides to leave mana up and gives his turn to Fernando. Fernando decides to go out swinging and swings 6 at Jimmy. He then heads to his end step and brings back his Mind Slicer. Still in Fernando's end step though, Jimmy swords Hidden's Cold Breacher, and Hidden gains some life. Hidden draws his card for turn, but Fernando then lets him go to his main phase. Hidden immediately casts the Yawgmoth's Will, and lets both Jimmy and Simon draw from the wrist-sticks. He decides he needs to get access to the treasure and swings his agent and the Destiny Spinner at Fernando to take him out. Now with the oof gone, Hidden then replays a Waterlogged Grove and recasts his Penman's Aura. He lets both Simon and Jimmy draw again, and once again gains infinite mana from his commander. He then casts a Wishclaw Talisman, which he activates to find and cast a Kinnan. He then activates Kinnan until he finds a Thassa's Oracle, and with Thrasios, it lets him draw his deck and win the game. Game review. Man, that was both a long game and a short game. Fernando's Mind Slicer really grinded that game to a halt, and while Fernando was gaining advantage, he just didn't have any way of stopping all that combat damage that was thrown at him. If not, he surely would have won. Some might be asking why he let Hidden draw his Yawgmoth's Will in the first place. And to that, he said his hopes was to try and put the target back on Hidden, and have Simon and Jimmy turn their sights on him, while Fernando slinked away for another turn. Unfortunately for Simon, he was quite mana screwed for the game, and with people not feeding his fish and the Hull Breacher stopping the wrist-sticks, he just wasn't able to draw into his mana sources until after the Collector Oof was already in play. As for Jimmy, he did have the clutch silence that stopped Hidden from going off turn 5, but without his value engine of Vega, he just wasn't able to refuel and keep the counterspells up when he needed them. And as for Hidden, Zaxara was a blast to see and perform. This was another commander I never see played, and it shows that even an Overlooked commander can still be powerful. Question for the viewer: what Overlooked commander do you wish you see played more often? Let me know in the comments down below. Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you know that we have a TCG affiliate link, and if you ever see a card you want to try or are inspired to brew something new, use our link when purchasing and we'll receive a small portion of the sale. This is a great way to support the channel, and if you enjoyed the gameplay, please leave a like and subscribe, as it really helps us keep making videos. And remember, never give up, even if you're dead on board. I'll see you guys later.